We are live.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the Sporting's Update podcast. This is episode, I actually don't know, 22, 23?
23rd, buddy.
23, episode 23. We'll be discussing today Taça da Liga final, the Vitória Guimarães game, modalidades, our transfers. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce the panel, the squad. Starting off with Steph. How you doing, Steph?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I woke up today and I looked at the major Portuguese papers, and guess what? We're in first place, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, me too. And also our guest, a recurring guest, is Bruno. Bruno, how are you doing, Bruno?
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, let's just get into this right away then. On Saturday, we played Vitória de Setúbal, or Vitória Football Club, in the Taça da Liga final. I'll just give you our starting 11. We're starting off with Rui Patricio in net, Cristiano Pacini, Jeremy Mathieu, Sebastian Coates, Fábio Coentrão. Our midfield was William Carvalho, Bruno Fernandes. Then on the wings, we had Ruben Ribeiro and Brian Ruiz. And then up top, we had Freddie Montero and Bas Dost. So, Steph, I'll start with you. What did you think of the game, Steph?
Well, like we predicted, the game was going to be a tough one because Vitória de Setúbal, for some reason, every time they play against us at Teco Mercado, they always play an amazing game. It's unbelievable. Sporting came in a little bit, slow, no speed. A good explanation is because Justin Martins he has a thigh injury, and we lost that speed. So we were very predictable. Sporting was trying to play in a pragmatic way, controlling the ball, and we're not that kind of team. We have players that can hold the ball, but we need to play, like we always played, with speed. But we didn't have, like I said, Justin Martins and Podence. Podence is also injured. So we lost all of our speed. And Setúbal, they had the better chances of goal. I'm going to speed up a little bit. In the first half, they were better than us. We were slow, predictable, and not ourselves at all. Second half, we got better. And I think the reason why it's because we basically Brian Rui Acuna came into the pitch, and that was a huge difference. I have nothing against Brian Ruiz, but same player as he used to be. So when you put Brian Ruiz on the left wing, basically you leave. And because of that, he's a phenomenal player, and he was having a field day with Brian Ruiz. Gonçalo Paci. It's in the first half. It was unbelievable how he won the ball and then he pivot. It was a beautiful goal. Foi muito consentido. Right away, Setúbal played the trap with the 1-0 and trying game with 1-0, and then finally penalty. Specialista in penalties. He scored the goal in an amazing way, and then we went to penalties, and that was better. We had a couple more chances of, but we didn't score them. It's a lottery. Take a penalty, but on luck as well. And we, after that, was very happy of the season 2017-18, and we earned it. we did go with all the competitions, domestic competitions. And I'm talking about a cup that possibly nobody remembers, at Tas Império. We're the only ones that have that cup anyway. So big day for Sporting, and we deserved it. It's been a while since we lifted a trophy. Epa, and I'm very happy, and I lost my voice. I was freaking out. I was telling my wife, leave the living room. I'm watching the game. I told my kids, shut up. So but very, very happy, but that's all.
Yeah. So, Bruno, what did you think of the game? Give me your thoughts.
Contrary to what we did against Porto, we entered soft in the game against Setúbal, and we gave a breakthrough. The best thing was that the team gave a good response on the second half and came to the equalizer and deservedly won the match on the penalty shootout. My heart shook a little bit when, in the moment, William Carvalho started walking to the decisive penalty, but
Yeah, me too.
it's the most important goal.
Yeah. All more the same for me. First half, I don't know where we were. I don't know if it was some of the changes that that JJ made. When Freddie Montero was at Sporting with JJ, I wasn't too convinced with him as a second striker. I'm still not too convinced, but hopefully as time goes on, he adopts that spot well and gets better there. You can tell we were missing Gelson or even Podence, like Steph said. But at the end of the day, we were the deserved winners. Stubal only had really that one chance that they scored that, and then maybe they had a few more chances in the first half after that, but nothing really threatening, nothing too crazy. But yeah, and then afterwards in the second half, we really put our game in. Credit to Battaglia and Acuna, who came in from not their best moments of the season, came in and did a great second half and really pushed us to the win. Clear penalty. Bas Dos puts it away as he's been doing most of the season and since he's came in. And then in the penalties, I was just like Bruno. I even tweeted if Stefan Coates and William Carvalho take a penalty today, I'm getting the first flight out of Toronto to beat up Jorge Jesus. But you know what? I'm glad they both proved me wrong. William has had a curse with penalties for the last few years now, but he buried an important one for Sporting, and I couldn't be happier. It was a great victory for us, a great trophy to win for us, at least in the early stage or the latter stages of the season. Anyways, I'm gonna ask you guys who your man of the match was, and who you think the worst performing player for Sporting was. So Bruno, I'll start with you. Who did you think the best player was and the worst player?
Good question. Against Setúbal, the best Bas Dost, I don't know, and the worst. Maybe Montero to recover, and Brian Ruiz. They weren't at their best.
Yeah. All right. And Steph, who do you think?
Without a doubt, one. I have two worst players, and then two good players. So Brian Ruiz definitely, and Piccini with the worst players for me. I think Piccini is just because he's exhausted, he's tired. So as we saw yesterday against Vitória de Guimarães, Ristovski played, and that was a smart move by JJ because Piccini looks really, really miserable. So he needed the rest. Then Brian Ruiz, I'm okay if he comes in for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but for a whole game, you're leaving Fábio Coentrão at mercy. So, and then the best players for me was Bas Dost and Rui Patricio. They were both phenomenal, especially Rui Patricio in the penalty kicks, and Bas Dosti in the penalties because he scored two. He scored one that tied the game, and one when it was the shutouts. So that's it for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with the both of you. I think the worst player was definitely Brian Ruiz. I think Freddie Montero also really had a bad game, but he still has a lot to adapt to. The team has changed. Some of the ideas I think have changed. We're not exactly playing with front two like we were when he was first at Sporting or when Jorge Jesus first came to Sporting. We're playing more with a number 10, I think. But yeah, our worst player, I think. Our best player. I'm gonna give our man of the match to Bas Dost, 2 decisive penalties, and he was always itching for the goal. He was always fighting for it. Even the one on the handball for the penalty, he was the one that won the header first off. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he got the shot off too, where I think it was Puruwaski or whatever his name is, stuck out his hand. So he won us the penalty. I think another he wasn't our man of the match, but Coentrão also had a really good game, I think too. Most of everything that was coming from the left with Coentrão. But so credit to both of them. And anything else you guys want to say about the Stuball game? Or
No.
I think you said no.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. So let's cover last night's game. I'll give you the starting 11 again. It was Rui Patricio in net. The first change was Christovski at right back. Then Sebastian Coates, Jeremy Mathieu, Fabio Coentrão. And then a midfield of William Carvalho and Bataglia. Bruno Fernandes on the right sort of center with Ribeiro and Marcus Acunha. And then Bas Dost up front. And I'll start off with you, Bruno. What did you think of the game yesterday?
It wasn't an easy game. Vitória players were very focused and very good defensively, compact. And without Gelson, we suffered a little bit to cause problems in Vitória defense. It wasn't he had the possession, arrange a source to score the goal, and that's the important thing.
Yeah. Steph, what did you think?
Well, we were expecting Guimarães to come to Stade Alvalade and basically play in a low block counterattack, and that's basically what they did. They have fast players like Rafinha, Hurtado, Talo, Sturgeon up in the front, and they proved yesterday that that they were dangerous. I mean, they had a couple chances of goal, nothing eminent, but they did have a couple shots at the beginning of the game. I mean, they missed the target. That's good. Rui Patricio defended one play at the very beginning, but then Sporting, they kind of took control of the game. But we couldn't score it in the first half. We didn't create a lot of opportunities whatsoever. And then towards the end, we created some great opportunities. I remember one from Bruno César, a shot off the post, and then another one from Bruno Fernandes, a great defense by the goalie, and then another one from Dumbia. It was totally one-on-one with the goalie, and the goalie did better than Dumbia. And then the amazing kick off the box, outside the box from Acunha. What a kick and what a defense! What a save by the Douglas, the goalkeeper from Guimarães. And then if you persistent and if you insist, you will get it your way. And guess what? We had a little bit of French, a touch, and my man Jeremy Mathieu, he scored a beautiful goal, just like a Punta de Lança, and I was very happy. Again, I was screaming like crazy at home, I mean, I even curse in Portuguese, English, and French altogether. And, yeah, because I speak French as well, so everything comes out when I'm pissed. So, ganhamos, o resto é conversa. I don't care how we win, but we got to win. These teams from the fourth position down, I'll say the three top teams down, even Braga plays this way against us. I don't want to give any kudos to Braga, os Lampiões do Norte. But every team is going to start playing like this. We saw Benfica losing points at Belenenses. I mean, after a gift given by Bruno Paixão, gave them 7 minutes. Don't know why, because yesterday, as you could see, we got 5 minutes of stoppage time, and that was it. It was 5 minutes on the dot. So I don't know what's the preference given to Benfica and Porto, because the Porto game had 9 minutes of stoppage time. If it's stoppage time, it's stoppage time. You don't put additional stoppage time on top of stoppage time. Senão o jogo nunca mais acaba. So anyway, but Sporting scored. We won. It wasn't pretty, but fuck it. We won. We got the 3 points. We're in first place, and you know, that's the way we got to play from now on. But I can wait for Gelson Martins to come back, because we lack of speed, or Prudence, or both of them together, because and we'll talk about it later. We tried to get Rafinha from Guimarães, but Guimarães were not flexible at all. And I'm guessing that the administration of Sporting Assad couldn't find a player at the last minute. And we tried Nakajima from Portimonense, but they wanted like 10 million for 80% of his pass. Toma Lux, okay. So that's it. About the game, I'm happy we won. We're in first place, and that's the way we have to play against these teams, because that's the way they're going to play. I bet you on Sunday at 1 p.m. when we play against Estoril, 1 p.m. our time, 6 p.m. in Portugal. When we play at Estoril, they're going to play the same way. Low block, counter-attack, so might as well get used to it. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% as well. You know, we weren't at our greatest yesterday, but at the same time, we were also facing a team that was defending very well, that was very compact, that wouldn't let anything go through. In the first half especially, we were also our biggest enemies, as, you know, we were misplacing passes. That final ball wasn't there. We would switch to the other flank, and it wouldn't go to the player that we wanted. You know, the first half was really frustrating to watch, because we do so many good things and then just ruin it right away. Guimarães were really good at the counterattack as well. Credit to them. I mean, they had that 1 or 2 opportunities in the first half. There was one, and even Rafinha had a decent showing. He just never put the shot on target, and he never really had a pass to go to. But you know, that front three of maybe not so much Talo, but Rafinha, Hurtado, and Sturgeon. You know, they did decent on us in the counterattack, especially Sturgeon. I think he had a really good game. There was that one opportunity. I think it was João Aurélio had a nice shot, but Patricio it was straight at Patricio, but it was really hard, and you know, Patricio was there to save it. But yeah, at the end, we deserved the win. The second half, we were much better. I enjoyed a lot the performance of Acuna. I think he was really good. I think, you know, the first half, everybody was misplacing their passes. I think Acuna obviously has a lot to improve and could have done a bit better, but I think he also had a decent first half. That shot that almost went in, oh my God. I was yelling at the TV. I was like, no, don't do that. And then I seen that and I was like, oh, puta que pariu, como é que isso não entrou, you know? It could have been the goal of the season. You know, but for sure, Mathieu was there just a few minutes later to bury the goal. The thing I liked the most about Mathieu as well was throughout the game, especially in the second half, you could really tell he was really pushing us forward. There was a few times where he won the ball in Guimarães' half, you know, pushing a bit forward and really playing the ball through, trying to connect well with Coentrão and Acuna on the left. So, you know, I think, you know, I enjoyed that a lot from Mathieu. He deserved that goal. He deserved to be the winner for us. And then, you know, yeah, I think most of the players were really good. I enjoyed Ristovski as well. You know, he has something to say now. I think the last few games, Pacini's been playing really bad, so I think Ristovski can push on and maybe start for the next few games until Piccini maybe gets his mojo back, if you will. And hopefully, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard much about it yet. I don't think anything's really been given out, but hopefully Bas Dost recovers quickly and recovers well, and hopefully it doesn't take more than a game. I hope he's back. If not against Estoril, hopefully next Wednesday for the Taça de Portugal against Porto. But yeah, it was good that we won. We needed to win with our rivals both dropping points. Benfica, who scored a free kick 2 minutes after the fact, but whatever. We can't dwell on that. Porto, who scored an offside goal and didn't get the 3 points that they needed. We needed to jump on this opportunity. Sporting teams in the past wouldn't have, and this year we have. So credit to Sporting. Did you guys want to do player ratings, or do you want to just give your man of the match? What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, the man of the match, the worst player, and then the rating for Jorge Jesus, and then the whole team. Yeah.
All right, then you can start that one off. Then, who do you think the man of the match was, and who do you think the worst performer was?
Well, most definitely the man of the match for me for Sporting was Jérémy Mathieu. I saw it the same way as you did. He was pushing the team. He scored the goal. He was amazing defensively, and it's like a breath of fresh air having Mathieu in our team. But I think now he realizes that wow, Sporting is a big club because he played for Barcelona, a mega big club. But I'm pretty sure he didn't know much about the Sporting history and the Sporting culture and the Sporting fan base. And I think he's realized, wow, I'm playing in a big team. Just for example, yesterday we had a total of 42,757 fans at the José Alvalade. So, and our average has been around 42,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and just to butt in there, that's on a Wednesday night too. That's not typical.
A late Wednesday night.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we can ask Bruno. What time did the game finish in Portugal?
Oh, very late. About 11 and a quarter p.m.
11 p.m. So imagine if you're a friend from Guimarães, you get back to Guimarães às 4 da manhã, 4 in the morning. So if you got to go to work, don't even sleep. So congratulations to Liga Nos.
Yeah,
they're really great in promoting Liga Nos. Really outstanding, amazing. But and then the worst player for me, I don't really have one. The whole team was decent. For me to just pick one person, I just can't. The whole team was decent. So I don't have a worst player. As far as JJ, the tactic for JJ, I think that was the only tactic he could use. He used a 4-4-2. To use a 4-3-3, you need speed. We didn't have speed. So I understand why you used the tactic. And the overall performance by the team, on the scale 1 to 10, I'll give it an 8. Because we got to do much better in finalizing when we create chances of scoring goals. And that's it.
All right, fair enough. Bruno, what do you think the man of the match, worst performer, Jorge Jesus, and the team overall?
Yeah, for me, the best, the man of the match was Jérémy Mathieu as well. Decisive, not only for the goal he scored, but also for the excellent attitude throughout the match. Always looking to pull the team forward. Defensively, he was also always focused and irreproachable. It was definitely the man of the match. Coentrão and Acuna were very well too. Coentrão, once again, he gave everything within the 4 lines. A lot of perseverance, always available to leave the skin on the field, and that's the attitude we want for the team. Acuna, despite not on his best physically, he always managed to be one of the most influential players of the team when things are not taking shape with his strength and delivery to the game. Once again, decisive with an assist for goal. And I think Dumbia, he entered well in the game. He was dynamic, looking for spaces in the back of the defense of Vitória Guimarães, managing to do it successfully a few times, where he had an excellent opportunity of goal. It was near, but the most important of all was the goal of the Matthew's goal.
Yeah. And what did you think of Jorge Jesus? Do you think he got that right? Do you think he could have done better?
I think he did well due to the physical limitations of the players before and during the match.
Yeah, fair. And just Sporting overall, what did you think of Sporting? Out of 10, if you had to rate them.
A 7 by the effort to win, not by the quality, but I like attitude. And in the past, we played very well, and we didn't achieve the victory. So, like União da Madeira 2 years ago, and it's better in the end. It's better to play less better, but win instead of losing, playing really good football.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And even an example of that is, Portugal maybe played one of the ugliest types of quality of footballs I might have seen over the years, but we won ourselves the Euro like that. And so, and credit to Sporting, it wasn't pretty, but the fact that we got the job done, as I mentioned before, where a team typically like us always, fuck it up on situations like this. It's refreshing to see. It's good to see. But yeah, anyways, my man of the match, I'm gonna agree with the two of you. It's gonna be Jeremy Mathieu. Defensively solid, pushing the team forward from the back, scoring the goal, really showing his experience, really showing why Jorge Jesus and Sporting Scouting and Bruno Carvalho put our faith in him and buying him this summer. But I'm also going to give a special mention to Acuna, who, like you said, wasn't the best physically in the past few weeks, but nonetheless, he played a great game today, and even when he got subbed on against Setúbal, as we mentioned earlier, he had a great game. So a special mention to him. I think our worst player, if I had to pick one, it would probably be Freddie Montero or Ruben Ribeiro. They both went kind of missing in the game. Ruben Ribeiro wasn't, I don't know if, from what I'd seen at home, what the commentators were saying, Jorge Jesus wanted to push him out right. He just wasn't connecting that well, and but whatever. They're both new to the team. Montero also wasn't connecting well with the team and all of that. But hopefully with time they, develop their game and get a better understanding of the whole squad. Jorge Jesus' tactics, I think he got it right for the most part. My only complaint with Jorge Jesus is he should have. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It was only a minute in. But if it's true that Bas Dost was saying he didn't want to continue and he couldn't continue, you don't risk him. You don't put him onto the field, even if it's for a minute to see. I think he knows himself better than anybody, and he's probably one of the, he would try to play through everything, I think, for this team. So if he says he couldn't, then he couldn't. That was my only complaint. So I'd give Jorge Jesus really a 9 out of 10. He did everything right. Bruno Cesar came in and did good. He hit the post. Montero, it was a good idea at least. Maybe it didn't work out as well. Doumbia should have scored a goal but didn't. But Doumbia did well in the game. So Jorge Jesus to me gets a 9 out of 10. And the team get a 7 out of 10 because they didn't play well. They weren't at the races. But, it was good enough for the win, and that's all that matters by me. Anyways, Bruno, tell us what happened over the Sporting universe with the modalidades.
Football Feminino will play this Sunday against Braga It is a very important match. I think if we win this game, the title is ours with more or less difficulty. About futsal, now there is a stop for the European Cup. Portugal did well in the first match, and after the end of the European Cup, Sporting will play against Benfica, and Sporting should do a good result to restore the confidence of the team after the loss in the final of the League Cup. About Sporting must win. In my opinion, Sporting must win every games until the decision against the big opponents, the last 3 fixtures. Starting with a victory this week against Grandla. About handball, the same. We must win against Boa Hora with a good result to go to the Dragão Caixa in the maximum levels of confidence and to reach a good result and continue in the top of the league. About volleyball, they are doing well on the top of the league too. The new players who came in the transfer market brought very good quality to the team, more than we had before. And about table tennis, we did a great result against Romain, and expected the first loss of Aruna Quadri, but after that we won the 3 matches consecutively, and we will go to France with an advantage of 3-1. So if we win 2 matches, we will reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, which is an awesome achievement for the modality.
All right, perfect. Steph, do you have anything to add about modalidades or anything to say about anything at all before we get into maybe the transfers?
Yeah, so the modalidad, like Bruno said, the only thing I would like to talk about is that the ladies will play against Sporting Braga. We have 5 points ahead of them. So let's say if we do lose against them, we're still 2 points ahead. So the ideal would be to win. If we tie, we basically guaranteed the Liga Alliance. But because the next tough team that we have in the Liga Feminina é o Estoril, não é, Bruno?
Sim, sem dúvida.
A par do Braga, o Estoril também tem uma equipa jeitosa. Other than that, all the other teams, you know, they don't have the financial means, they don't have the conditions, so they do the best that they can. So that's why I've said it, you know, a few times. If I would love to see Futebol Clube Porto and Benfica invest in the females team, because that would be good for the league. Besides that, in volleyball, like Bruno said, we in first place. Benfica already lost 3 times, and we only lost 1 time. So basically, there's only 7 games left. If we win all the games, we already played Benfica twice. The only tough game that we might have, it's Sporting Espinho. Besides that, we already played Fonte Bastardo, Castelo de Maia. So volleyball is looking really great to win the title. So the next 7 games, we only have 1 tough one, and the other ones, you know, we should win them. That's what I mean. Okay, in Patins, we're doing well. We bounced back twice against Oliveirense, and the last game we won again. So we're just 1 point behind the Sporting Lisboa and Benfica. Last but not least, futsal. They won yesterday against Romania 4-1, 4-1. That was a great game. Best of luck to our boys, to our national team. Here in the United States and Canada, we follow all national teams, so we're pretty much in tune with what's going on with futsal. The next game will be on the 4th against Ukraine. Ukraine, which is a difficult game. The reason being is they have a whole bunch of players naturalized from Brazil. So you figured that shit out, but that's the way it is at futsal. Yeah, in all the modalities, we're doing great job. Table tennis, we won against an European Champions League champ. I never thought we could win. We could actually go to in the second game. We could lose 3-2 and still make it because we won 3-1, so we could lose 3-2 and make it. So I hope we do. Temos uma equipa muito jeitosa. So, and that's all I got. I'm very proud of my Sporting, all the modalities. Overall, we're doing a great job. And the Sporting football, I don't mean to go all over, but the reason why we're playing the way we're playing is because Jorge Jesus just stated on the flash interview, "Ele quer uma equipa italiana," and that's how Italians play: pragmatic, cold, calculistas, and when we score, and then we defend. So far so good, and that's it.
Yeah, perfect. The only thing I want to add to that is just tell the Sportingistas like me who were born and raised outside of Portugal that maybe can't watch all the modalidades. If I had to suggest one, it had to be the Futebol Feminina. If you can find a stream or somehow have the channel, I encourage you guys to watch it. Over the past 2 years, especially last year, it was a big rivalry against Braga, and I'm sure it's going to be the exact same. And of course, winning against Braga would be a big achievement for us, as we would look on to probably winning the league again. So good luck to the ladies, to the Leoas, and yeah. Let's talk about, or actually just before the transfers, just a little quick update that I just seen here. Bas Dost isn't looking likely to play against Estoril, and he's still in doubt against Porto in the semifinals, which isn't good. Anyways, let's talk about the transfers then. I got a list here of who came in and who came out. So we bought Ruben Ribeiro from Rio Ave, Misic from Rijeka from Croatia, Wendell from Fluminense, Freddie Montero from Vancouver Whitecaps, and Lumor, the left back from Portimonense. Exiting was Yuri Medeiros, on loan with an option to buy from Genoa, Alan Ruiz to Cologne, Mateus Oliveira to Guimarães, Tobias to Nottingham Forest, and Jonathan Silva on loan to Roma, but they have an option. They have to pay the mandatory fee of 5 or 6 million, I believe it is. I guess I'll start off with this one. I think Sporting had a good transfer window. It wasn't an exceptional transfer window. If we look on it overall, including the summer, I think we did have an exceptional one. If we look specifically to January, I think the loss of Tobias and not really getting that backup like we wanted it to be Marcelo from Rio Ave is, a little bit discouraging, only having 3 center backs. But with that being said, our 3 center backs are all exceptional. Even André Pinto, who hasn't played as much, is more than capable of having a starting spot, and he's a quality center back. So I'm confident in the 3 we have. I guess maybe that's why we didn't go after another one. Add the addition of Misic, who we still haven't seen anything of, or a lot of us still don't know what he's capable of. At least, maybe that one's in doubt, but he looks to be an exceptional player. I think if the fact that we were looking into Misic to replace William earlier in the season, I think that's indicative of his quality and his style of play and what he can add onto the team. Wendell, 20 years old from Brazil, who's done a lot of good in Brazil, still has a lot to learn, of course. As Jorge Jesus said, some of his tactics are like speaking Chinese to him. But I think he can turn out to be an exceptional player. I mean, we beat teams like PSG to get him. So the fact that, we got Wendell, I think, is a plus. Freddie Montero coming back to Sporting, as sentimental as it is, it's still a good buy. He's still a player that has an eye for goal, that loves scoring goals, that's his bread and butter. He did it in the MLS for Vancouver. He did it in China, and he did it when he was here at Sporting a few years ago. So I'm almost certain that he'll do it again. And he seems to be our good luck charm. Really, he we won the Taça Portugal with him on the squad. Now we won the Taça Liga with him on the squad. So just for that alone, I guess it's a good buy. And of course, Ruben Ribeiro. He's a good player. He was an exceptional player at Rio Ave, one of the top players in our league this year. So it was a great buy from him as well. Once I think he adapts to the system of Jorge Jesus, he'll probably give us a lot more than what he has so far. Even though his first game, already with an assist to Bas Dost, I think there's many more to come. And then from really the exits, the only one I'm really sad about is Yuri. I wish Yuri got a bit more of an opportunity to play at Sporting. I think he has the potential to be a really good player. But at the same time, it's a good move for him in his career to get some more minutes, to get some more playing time, to really develop his game. And as we've seen from Bruno Fernandes, Italy is one of the better countries in the world to really develop your game tactically, technically, just to understand the whole way of your play. Really, that's really my only sadness about the players that left. Anyways, Bruno, what do you think about our transfer window? Good, bad? What do you think of the players we got in and the players we left and the players that left?
I think it was good because in 2015 and 2016, the years before, I think we committed huge mistakes, like trading Montero for Barcos and some stuff like that. And this year, I think we improved the team during this transfer market. Ruben Ribeiro can bring quality to the team, coming from the bench, in my opinion. If the possession is a very good player. Mizic, I don't know him well. I think the staff and the scout knows what he's capable for, and I expect good things from him. Vendel is a very good player with a lot of potential, and I think he can be an important piece for the team this season. Montero is good to have him back. I think he's away from his best physically, but if he recovers and how can I say, and if he establishes and connects with the movements of these players, the new players that he don't know, I think he can be very good for the team. And about Lumor, I think he's very good offensively. He needs to work defensively. He's similar to Ziegler when he came to Sporting, but he's the youngest and has more potential than Ziegler.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
About
sorry.
about the exits, I think Yuri. It's a shame, a pity for him. He didn't do the same that he did in other clubs, but it's better for his career to go to Italy. I think he will do a great job in Genova. Alan Ruiz, I think. Como é que eu posso dizer que peca por tardia?
Que é uma merda e que good riddance.
Exatamente, pronto. And Mateus can play in Vitória more than he was playing in Sporting. To be it was Jonathan. It was a very good sales from Sporting. I think it's it. We gain quality in this market. And about the center back, we have three players, and I think in case of emergency, Palhinha can play there as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Or even Petrovic. I know Jorge Jesus spoke on it yesterday. He said and even on the preseason, he played Petrovic at center back. So I guess that's not bad either. Yeah, you're right. Steph, what do you think, buddy?
No, man, you guys said it all, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. You guys were right on the money. But Lumor from Portimonense, the left back, that was a good move because we needed to compensate for the loss of Jonathan Silva, which that alone was a really good sell. I mean, we sold him a player that just came back from an injury. We sold him for 6 million. We can't complain about that, you know. So that was an excellent move. Misik, like you said, Dan, that's predicting what a future sell from William Carvalho. So we just been proactive. We already thinking about 2018-19. So that's smart thinking. Wendell is 20 years old, but I don't know if you guys saw it on the news. Inter Milan tried to get him on a loan for 1 million, and then on a buying clause for 30 million. And of course, Sporting was really smart. They said no. For God's sake, he didn't even play one game, and they want to buy him. Take it easy. Ruben Ribeiro, we got him because he's in full rhythm, knows the Liga Nos quite well, and he'll be very helpful for Sporting because he knows Liga Nos, he knows all the stadiums in Portugal, e tem ratice de jogador sénior. So he's not a young buck. He knows exactly how to play. Ele sabe cavar faltas. He's a good experienced player. I know Sportingistas, sometimes we're a little bit impatient, but let's give him some more time because he's a good fit for our team. Montero, it's not that he's playing bad. He just got to the team. He hasn't played since the 3rd of November. He needs to acquire rhythm. Being fit is one thing, but then if you don't play in a high competition level, then you lose that rhythm. It's so important. And when he left Sporting, it was a totally different team. So this is different teammates. He'll be gelling soon. We just need to give him time. And then 2 more players that you guys didn't talk about, but we already acquired them, was Rafinha. He's already a Sporting player beginning this summer for 2018-19. And Marcelo from Rio Ave is also our player. The only reason they didn't come to Sporting now, it's Rio Ave. They were not flexible. And I understand because if I'm the coach of Rio Ave, I'm talking to my president and I'm telling him, hey, listen, I need this guy for the remaining of the season. Yeah. They kept him. They were not flexible. And Rafinha, Pedro Martins, he said the same thing. Hey, o meu presidente prometeu-me que o Rafinha não ia sair porque eu preciso dele. And that's what happened. He stayed. I mean, I really wanted Rafinha to come now just because of the injuries we've had with Podence, his ankle, o tornozelo esquerdo, and then Gelson Martins, his right thigh. And then both of them, we still don't know when they'll come back. And like he said, Bastos just got hurt. He got a concussion on his rib cage. So he's going to miss Estoril and perhaps the first game da Taça Portugal contra Futebol Clube Porto. Isso é uma merda. That's not good. So they need to do something. I don't know. I don't know if you guys watch the cartoon characters from France, Asterix and Obelix. When they have the little portion, they need to get something from Montero or something. But an interesting stat on Record, and I don't like when they pull a stunt like that. So they put some numbers together, and they said Sporting spent 13 million.4 million. And then we sold, and we got back only 9 million.9. But that's not true. Our good friend JP on Twitter, Mr. Peter Tree, he put some numbers together. And these numbers are from the transfer market. So the época 2017-2018, the acquisition, so the players we bought was a total of 44 million 26. But our sales were 58 and $43,000. So So we're talking about a $14 million positive. So I hate when Greco Apollo joke they put numbers together, but they don't do it for the whole season. So why am I bringing this up? It's because Bruno Carvalho is in his administration. They're doing a phenomenal job in managing Sporting, and again, we'll be positive in the third quarter of the year for sure. So don't look at the record and the ball. They put fake figures all the fucking time. I hate that. And last but not least, we tried to get Nakajima through Portimonense at the last minute. We tried until the last minute. Sporting offered 7 million for 80% of his pass, even to loan a player. Portimonense said no. They wanted 10 millions. They said they had better offers from teams from Russia and stuff like that. So Sporting said that's our limit. We're not going to give you more than that. But at the same time, I understand Portimonense. Portimonense, if they sell Nakajima for 10 millions or 12 millions to a Russian team in the summertime, that pays for the whole budget for the whole year. Yeah. So I understand Portimonense's position, and I think that was the last sprint from Sporting to acquire someone to not to replace, but to basically have on the bench if somebody gets hurt, like Gelson Martins or Podence, because now we have no speed whatsoever, unless we go to the B team, and that'll be a question for Bruno. Bruno, which players do we have in house that could fulfill the need of speed that Sporting needs?
In my opinion, maybe Rafael Leão and Jovan Cabral. But Jovan Cabral is injured, and I think Rafael Leão needs to grow to not be thrown to the flames so early.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because o Benfica fez o mesmo com o miúdo, como é que ele chamava-se?
Nem sabes o nome. É isso.
No. He was good in the sub U17, and we won the European.
Jay Gomes.
Sim, exatamente. Yeah. And that could have happened to Rafael Leão too, because they tried to put him in the first team, A squad, and then they almost burned the guy. So you're right, Bruno.
I mean, we're doing good by Rafael Leão. What was the game that he played against? Was it
Taça
Liga? Yeah,
Taça Portugal.
Portugal, yeah, against Oleiros, or what are they called?
Yeah,
he played. He played. That was good for him to play against the lower league. That's what I mean. He's not ready for that jump up yet, but it was a good way to show Jorge Jesus what's on the B team and how he can play and how he can move and all of that, while not playing, bigger opposition and stuff like that. And not to mention, he came on when the game was basically done. So yeah, I agree 100% with you, Bruno. Him and
but he's been playing for the B team too. He actually scored some good goals for the B team. But let's not forget that our under 19, they qualified for the playoffs in the youth league. So so he's still very important to the U19. I would like them to be champions of Portugal again, even though they're struggling a little bit in our division, but it's not a big deal. I mean, now it's just the qualifying phase for the Campeonato Nacional, so it's not a big deal. We could actually finish fourth and still qualify, so it's not a big deal.
And we will play against the title holders, Salzburg, in the youth league.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be easy, and it's very useful for the team.
They won the last one, didn't they? The last youth League Cup.
Yeah.
Against Benfica.
Yeah, exactly. Because Benfica has gone twice to that final, and they lost twice.
Yeah.
Sporting, people don't know it, but they did go once. It used to call Next Generation.
Yeah. Next Gen Cup.
And we lost. That's when Bruno Carvalho was in the U19 team, and we lost that final. Yeah. Okay, so
right.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, is there anything else you guys want to add? Anything at all? Anything you guys found interesting or didn't get in earlier in the show?
Well, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions. I'll ask the question, and whoever wants to go first, go first. So, if you were JJ, Jorge Jesus, what would be the solution against Estoril to acquire speed for our team?
Honestly, I'd play the same way we played against Guimarães. I think Estoril, credit to them, they did well against Porto and all that. I don't think they'll be as compact or as good defensively as Guimarães were, or as organized as Guimarães were. I think we have the good idea of Bruno Fernandes in the middle, Ruben Ribeiro and Acunha out wide, Bataglia and William in the midfield for now. Maybe Doumbia up front. He adds a bit more pace than Bas Dost does. So I'd try that out. I don't think we have to change up much. And of course, Christovski on the right. Christovski, especially in the Guimarães game, you can see how much he was pushing forward, how much he was really attacking the play and trying to push the team forward. He was like a right back, but he would still be like a right winger at times. So I think just the change of Doumbia, just because Bas Dost is injured, I think should be good enough for Estoril.
Bruno?
Yeah, I agree with Daniel. The pitch is smaller from Estoril. The size. Yeah. And we need more quality to earn some spaces. I think we can play with the same 11 due to that issues of the field, because it's a low size pitch, and we need strength with Bata and William, and we still need players good on 1-to-1 to earn some faults and something like that to earn opportunities to score. And like Daniel said, Doumbia can explore the back of Estoril.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me. I feel the same way, exactly the same way. For our listeners, there's something I would like to say. Bruno Brito is actually from Portugal, and he was watching the game yesterday at José Alvalade. How was the experience, buddy? I still don't know, believe it or not, I still don't know the experience of watching a game of Sporting at Alvalade. I've seen my Sporting play in Agda because I'm from Aveiro. I've seen Sporting play at the Estádio Mário Duarte, o Estádio Velhinho do Beira-Mar. Yeah. I've seen Sporting play at the Stadium of Harrison, New Jersey. I've seen Sporting play at the Meadowlands. But I've very, really sad to say, and it breaks my heart. But next year, I have everything coordinated to go see the game of Cinco Violinos com meu pai, com meu filho, and hopefully some family members from Gafanha da Boa Vista. So, but how is it? The emotions, the claques, the foguetes, o fumo, o espetáculo, a cantar O Mundo Sabe, o ambiente do pessoal de Sporting. How is it?
It's a wonderful experience. Happily for me, I watch Sporting games in the stadium since my 4 years. I've watched it 2 times in the last stadium, Alvalade, the old one, and here it's a big difference. I was in the inauguration of the stadium. It was such a big experience to watch Cristiano Ronaldo doing magic against a powerful team of Manchester United. Yeah, and now it's a little bit different, because with more games we know how to contain a little bit more the emotions, but in games like yesterday, it's impossible. Our heart to beat faster, and we start a pile of nervous. It's not easy.
So describe the moment at Alvalade when Jeremy Mathieu scored the goal.
The stadium explodes.
Yeah, sure.
The others said we were winning the Champions League, but they are worse than us. And we were, how can I say? We were screaming for a goal, who means a victory, probably victory. So that's why we explode that way. It's passion. It's all about passion. Football is this. That's the essence. So we were feeling the experience of other games that we create a lot of opportunities and we didn't score. And this time, when we saw the ball in the goalie and Mathieu running and commemorating like that, we simply explode, and it was a great moment. Better in the end when the 3 points come.
Okay, now, did you see Fabrice Cointran's reaction after Mathieu scored the goal when he got down on his knees and he started punching the pitch?
I didn't repair, sincerely. I was
too busy hugging the next person beside you, huh?
I was shaking heads and giving
exactly.
to everyone. I was simply out of me. It was a great moment. Yeah.
How was the feeling of before Mathieu scored? How was the feeling of Alvalade? Was it the pessimismo, or like, ai meu Deus, quando é que vamos marcar? How was the I want to know the before and after the goal.
High tension, big pressure, starting to get stressed, but really bad.
Desesperado.
Yeah, and I'm young, so the old guys, were completely insane in the way. But yeah, after the goal, they were and we shake hands. We did the party the best way, and then suffering again for the remaining 9 minutes or 10 until the end. And when the whistle come, it was an explosion of happiness.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine, because me at home, I was like, "Ai meu Deus, mas que é que se vai passar? Morto, caralho!" I was so desperate, I'm telling you. But we have a question from Bruno. Not Bruno Brito, but Bruno from Maryland. He's been with us on our podcast quite a few times. He's basically one of us. And the question is the following, and I'm going to ask you both the question. Who needs to start in place of Bas Dost, and will be able to keep first place without him and Gelson? Dan, go ahead, Dan.
Listen, I might have, you might say, oh, this guy has an agenda against Doumbia. I just fully said before, Doumbia. To be honest, thinking about it, could be either or, Monteiro or Doumbia. I'll say Doumbia for now. Bastos is only likely to miss the 2 games, one against Porto, one against Estoril. At least the next game against Estoril, I think Doumbia should be replacing Bastos. He just shows that he had a bit more to his game. The only thing that worries me about Doumbia is his finishing. It hasn't been good enough throughout the season, but we'll see. I'd say Doumbia should be able to replace Bastos, and of course we can keep first place. At the end of the day, we're only facing Porto for Taça Portugal. We're not facing Porto or Benfica for the leagues. I think if we were facing them for the leagues, maybe we'd have a bit more to worry about. But even still, on the big games, Bas Dost has yet to. I mean, aside from a penalty scoring, he has yet to appear. So I think we should be fine, so long as Estoril loses against us but beats Porto in the second half. We'll be fine in first for a little while.
Okay, so Brito, what do you think?
I agree with Daniel. To replace Bastos, say Dudumbia, because it's in a better, it's fit, it's in a better form than Montero.
Can we order pizza?
In the right side, Podence, if he's recovered from his injury, but if he don't, maybe I will try to change Ruben Ribeiro and Acuna during the game to provoke new movements and confuse Sturil defense.
Okay, so me, I think without a doubt it's going to have to be Dumbia. Montero is still not up to speed, but because he could be Montero, we're not going to put Rafael Leão on the spot. He's not ready for those kind of games yet. But don't be surprised if we see Dumbia and Montero up front, because Montero is a great supporter of the striker, and that's what he tried to do in the last game, Jorge Jesus, by putting Bas Dost and Montero together. So that could be a possibility. But yes, Bruno, I think we will. I'm pretty sure. No, Uguto Bruno, the one who's asking the question. I'm pretty sure we'll keep the first place without a doubt. We just have to be cool and we'll find a way to win. If Bas Dost can play, he can play. I'd rather not play with him and fix him up so he can be good for the rest of the season than just gamble and then he'll have a longer stoppage, a bad injury, just like Jesse Martins. Jesse Martins, I think it was Jorge Jesus pushing him to the limits. The medical staff knew that Jesse Martins was hurt. Even on the newspapers and the Sporting newspaper said that estão a tratar o Jesse Martins com pinças, meaning that he was pushing him too hard, and he pushed him too hard, so he broke. So now we have two more questions, and then that's it. How do you guys rate Ruben Ribeiro? So Bruno Brito, I'll let you go first.
In the game or
overall? As far as him being a Sporting player so far, he already played 4 games. So
he handles the ball well, plays very well between the lines, but sometimes Sporting need to play more aggressive, and he's good in some moments, and the other moments the team requires another kind of player. So I think he will be valued for the team, but it depends on the characteristics of the matches that we are playing.
Well, I agree with you. The only thing I see, I see a weakness on Ruben Ribeiro is it's in defending. He's not a great. He doesn't drop back quite enough, fast enough, like Jesse Martins. We saw Jesse Martins playing as a winger, como extremo, e só atacar. But then, since JJ has been the Sporting coach, he molded him to be a great extremo, but also to get back a defense and assist Piccini or Ristovski. And that's where you see a more complete player as far as Jesse Martins. Now, the only thing that Jesse Martins is missing, it's finishing, is his finish. Besides that, he's a complete player. And Ruben Ribeiro doesn't do that quite as well as Jesse Martins. He forgets to drop back and help Piccino or help Fabio Cointran, because he could play both wings and he could play in the middle too and up front next to Bas Dost. And that's why JJ acquired Ruben Ribeiro. because é um jogador muito polivalente. Pode jogar em todas as posições da frente. And that's to answer Bruno's question. I think Ruben Ribeiro is a good fit. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give him an 8. Dan, what do you think?
I'm gonna maybe I'll be a bit harsh. I'll give him a 6, only because my only issue with Ruben Ribeiro is one, the defending, as you said, but he also gets lost towards the second half. Against Desportivo de Chaves, he had an incredible first half. Second half, he sort of disappeared in the game. The game after that, I think it was Marítimo. The first half he played very well, and then even though we were no, not Marítimo, it was another team, I can't remember now. But second half he kind of disappears. That's my only issue with him. Of course, I expect him to get better. I think he will get better. I think he is a good fit at Sporting. Once he integrates the squad, once he, gets accustomed to Jorge Jesus' ideas and the team's ideas, I think he'll be better. But as of right now, he's been impressive, just not for a whole game yet. So I'm just going to give him a 6.
Okay, sounds good. So I got another question. He would like to know what's going on with Podence. He said he keeps on hearing he's hurt. And I'll answer him first. Hey, Bruno, yeah, he is hurt. His left ankle. So that's why he hasn't been playing. It has nothing to do with JJ. Podence has been hurt. Because I'm pretty sure if Podence was available, you would have played in Justin Martin's place.
Yeah.
So that's for that. So now, I'm going to ask the last question of the day. And this question is tricky. I'm going to put both of you on the spot. Okay? I'm expecting Bruno Brito to know a little bit more than you, Dan, just because it just came out on the news. And now I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys were Benfiquistas, okay? I know you're not, and that's a good thing.
For this. If.
So, but this is, I just want to see how you guys think, if you think the same way as I do. The case that's going on called Luxus, Lux, okay? O Bruno Brito, eu acho que ele até sabe mais que a gente. I've been keeping up on the Portuguese news. It's in regards to Luís Filipe Vieira, and has nothing to do with Benfica in this specific case, but it involves the president of Benfica, and because of that, it brings the Benfica name into the mix as well. If you were Benfiquista, what would you like to see happen? Bruno. Okay, it's easy.
Segunda divisão, caralho.
No.
I'm kidding.
Okay, let's flip the scenario because I saw both of you confused. Holy shit. Okay, let's say if it's Bruno Carvalho in the being accused that they basically saying that he bribed o juiz, o Rangel, não é?
Yeah.
So, para obter favores à custa de filho. So, é uma coisa assim que envolve acho que 12 pessoas, não é?
Mas o filho diz que era em benefício do Vieira, disse que não era para ele. Disse que era para o pai. Ele empurra.
Okay. So now if this was Bruno Carvalho, I'll go first. This is what I would do. If my president was involved in such a corruption scam and bringing the Sporting name into a llama like he's doing, I would tell him to get out of my club. I would tell him, I want you to ask for to quit. I don't want you in my club anymore. Do you think the Benfica fans are capable of asking for such a thing?
Only the true Benfiquistas, not lampiões, and there are too many lampiões. So it is quite difficult to push Vieira away from the club. There was a good candidate for them, Bruno Carvalho, not Bruno de Carvalho, and Bruno Carvalho is constantly complaining against Vieira, and he mentioned a lot of facts, and the media just ignore him because Vieira controls everything, and
Okay.
so that's why it's very difficult to push Vieira away from the club.
Okay. But, Dan, you have anything to say?
No, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. If this was happening in our club, you've seen what I mean, Guzing Lopes obviously was for different reasons, but you've seen what happens when, a president of ours doesn't follow our nossos valores. You know what I mean? We want them out right away. So I think if this was in our club, I don't think we would be able to stand for it. If I was a Benfiquista, which thank God I'm not, I would definitely want him out. The fact that we seen what would happen even at Porto. Pinto Costa was revered throughout Portugal for a little while, but then once the scandals came out and once it was confirmed, Pinto Costa hasn't been the same. I think the same will happen to Luis Filipe Vieira, and hopefully the truth will come out. And if I was a Benfiquista, for sure I'd want him out of my club. I wouldn't want a man bringing a name or the team that I love through the mud. You know what I mean? Mas graças a Deus não nasci lampião.
É que é mesmo.
Yeah, no, é verdade. And the reason why I brought this up, that's the reason why I needed to bring this up. It's because I know Benfica sometimes they pull the trigger really fast and they say, oh, vocês também já tiveram envolvido em caso de corrupção. And we never said we weren't. But o caso Cardinal, if you look at the, you just have to Google it, caso Cardinal, and it will come up. It's not a secret. It's available to the whole world. O Sporting foi absolvido. So Sporting has nothing to do with it. But the way we behaved Sportingistas, not only from Lisbon, but from the whole nation and from overseas, just like me and Dan,
Sure.
we wanted Cristóvão out of Sporting. We stripped his cartão de sócio. That's the way Sportingistas are. If somebody from our club is involved in corruption, and let's say we win in titles, we're not going to say, epa, this que a gente quer títulos que se lixe. That's not us. Sportingistas don't want that. We want these people out of our club. And we did that with Cristóvão. We did that with Godinho Lopes, another piece of shit. We did that com o Bigodes, que foi para Angola. Os benfiquistas e portistas, eles é que são malucos da cabeça. Because they think we are like they are, but we are not. We are a totally different fan base. We classy, we are a lot smarter than them, and we don't want to win com batata. And that's been my struggle with benfiquistas and portistas. Because if you look at benfiquistas and portistas, Olympiões e tripeiros, they have Luis Filipe Vieira, which is totally corrupt. Not only him, Paulo Gonçalves, Pedro Guerra, and so many other names. The whole administration is corrupted. The emails, they keep on saying, until proven, we're not guilty. But it's just too many. I mean, we're talking about 10,000 emails, and a lot of things that came out, it's been proven that it might be true. So with that said, I knew a few Benfiquistas like Cynthia from Tiki Taka, for example. She says, no, I would love to see all these people out of my club. And to Benfiquistas and portistas, because portistas are not any better. O filho da puta do Pinto Costa, in the 80s and the 90s, foi o que fez, roubou. He's more corrupted than Luis Filipe Vieira. Or they both equally the same shit. And he's still at Porto. So to all portistas out there, why would you support such a corrupt figure? And to all Benfiquistas, why would you support such a corrupt figure like Luis Filipe Vieira? If you want to regain your name as a Sporting Lisboa Benfica, you need to kick these people out. That's the only salvation for Benfiquistas. It will be for the whole thing to stop. It would be to fire Luis Filipe Vieira in the administration, get a new president, a new administration, and then you'll regain the respect from Sportingistas and from other clubs. And the same thing goes to Porto. Until Pinto Costa is there, I have no respect for Porto. I respect, of course, the institution and some personal friends of mine, and my nephew is also Portista. But as far as putting Pinto Costa in a pedestal, saying he's the best president of their history, it's actually embarrassing to say such a thing because he was so corrupted. We know all about os casos da fruta, prostitutas, orgies, threesomes, e quem era paneleiro, pronto, também levava na peida. Mas pronto, o Luís Felipe Vieira, to all Benfica, to finish with this topic, the only salvation for the Lampiões or our neighbors next door, that's going to circular, it's to get rid of him. That's how I see it.
Yep. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else?
No, you said it up. I agree with you. When something like that happens in our club, we repudiate that actions and we kick them out. And some fans of Benfica and Porto, not all, of course, prefer to win without ethic and no matter what, they don't care. They don't have values, and that's the difference between us and all of them. We, in general, repudiate and do the maximum to erase them from our history, because we right with that. So that's why we are the best club in Portugal.
Without a doubt, and I totally with your assessment. And every time I hear somebody says, "Pá, vocês já não ganharam 15 anos," and now I tell them, now we know why, because you didn't win, you bought the championships. There's a big difference. So that's why Benfica and Porto, they kept on winning, and we didn't, because they had an upper leg buying the referees, buying fiscais linha. But they went to the extremes to do so. Look at the scheme, but that Benfica has, only shit. That's why they call them a polvo, because it has several arms and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was all the way on the top of the politics. We're talking about judges, lawyers, police officers, police judiciaria. It's really deep to break the whole thing, the whole scheme. It takes time, and I have no confidence in the Portuguese justice system. Não confio na justiça portuguesa de maneira alguma. É mais corrupta que certos países do terceiro mundo. And I just hope that somebody from police judiciary are serious, doing their job, and they find a smoking gun. And I don't wish for Benfica to go to the second division. I don't think that would be a good thing for the country, because Benfica does a lot of good things. They have the youth teams. They have a lot of modalities. They do give a lot of jobs to people. So I don't wish that. My biggest wish would be Luís Vieira castigado, the administration, and take away the titles they won in a corrupted way. I'll be content with that. I don't wish them to actually go to the second division, because, like I said, and I like to emphasize it won't be good. I mean, imagine having a championship Sporting Porto only. It would kind of suck. I know they are our rivals, but I use common sense, and it would affect a lot of people. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, my only thing to that is I do wish them in the second league, only for the simple reason that if they can do it in Italy, if Italy there's repercussions for your actions and for your corruption, there has to be the same for Portugal. I think the just thing would be second division. At second division, Benfica, if they have the fans that they do have, they won't be affected by it too much. They can still give back to the community, and at the end of the day, they can, whether it's one season without them, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think Segunda Liga is fine for them. I think they should get relegated, but that's all. I understand your point. I agree. Like I agree with it to a degree, but I also think that if what's true, if what we believe to be true, if what I'm almost certain is true, then, and it comes out and goes to the public, then they should be. But we'll see what happens until then.
Okay, that's
all
it.
Right. Anybody else want to add anything else?
You said all.
Tá bem. Foi bom podcast. Thank you, Bruno, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you for the invitation. It is a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. It's our pleasure, buddy. Steph, thank you again for another wonderful podcast. I was the host for once. It was cool.
You'll do it more time, and o maior e será sempre Sporting Clube Portugal.
Yeah, exatamente. I just want to end off with one thing. Viva o Sporting Clube Portugal, caralho.
Sporting sempre.
Exato.
Sempre, pá. E o resto é conversa fiada. Há que ganhar contra o Estoril na bancada que não está a cair. Na outra, não.
Yep.
Cuidado, ó Brito. Se fores ao Estoril, não te sentes na bancada que está a cair, meu. É melhor ficares em casa a ver televisão.
Vai tirar uma foto para fazer o pino.
Ou senão vais lá com um saco de cimento e vais pôr lá o pilar, oh caralho.
Vou com calça de treino e meto o gorro, pego-me um balde. Vou aqui para um balde de massa.
Mais nada. Eu ouvi dizer que o pilar foi abaixo porque um adepto do Porto, ele confundiu-se com o Orinol e estávamos já no pilar e rachou aquela merda toda.
Foi.
Okay, guys, prontos. So, viva o Sporting Clube Portugal. Best of luck against Estoril. By the way, last thing, the prediction. What do you guys predict?
2-0 Sporting, easy.
Yeah. Sim, 2-0 também. Posto num 2-0. Não, 2-0 ou 3-1.
Quem marca?
Bruno Fernandes, the first. And then the equalizer for Estoril by Lucas Evangelista or Kiriakou. And then on the second half to test our hearts.
It's been the norm.
2-1 by Coates and 3-1 by Seydou Doumbia.
Okay. What about you, Dan?
It'll be Bruno Fernandes. They'll be pressing. Freddie Montero will come in and he'll score the 2-0.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 2-0. Bombaço do Bruno Fernandes cá no meio da rua. And I'm going to say Jeremy Mathieu off a corner, another header. And I'm going to go a little bit beyond because I know the next podcast will be possibly a week from today.
Yeah.
So on the Porto Sporting para a primeira mão da Taça de Portugal, I think it's going to be a tie. I think we're going to play low block counter attack, but we still don't have our top guns. So it's going to be a tie 0-0.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. We can. I was thinking we can play. Maybe we can play a little bit different with Piccini on the right side and Ristovski at his front.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Ristovski is very good
attacking. Yeah.
Yeah, attacking, and he can support Piccini against Brahimi. And Alex Telles, yeah.
Alex Telles is playing phenomenal. Okay, so guys, I think to finish up, I really think Sporting is going to win in Porto 1-0 com um gol todo cagado e o caralho, mas vamos ganhar Zé lá. But that's it. That's all I got to say. Boa noite to Portugal. Thank you so much for being flexible, from calling all the way from Portugal. I'll be there next summer. I'll make sure I'll get in touch with you. Possibly we'll be able to get in touch to watch o torneio dos 5 violinos, o jogo, né?
O Steph paga os minis.
Eu pago tudo o que eu preciso. Desde que haja uma gaja boa ao meu lado, está fixe. A esposa fica em casa castigada. Mas o Brito tem uma namorada e gosta muito dela, que eu vejo os tweets e ele é um apaixonado pela namorada. Tem que ser.
Tem que ser.
Apaixonado pelo clube e pelo namorado, é isso mesmo.
Tem que ser.
O amor interno. É um amor interno. Já percebeste a conexão, Dan?
Já sei.
Tem que ser.
E boa noite. E tem que ser. E boa noite do Canadá. Canadá, good evening. and from all the way to Delaware. Later, guys.
Ciao.
Good night.